So a few days ago, I was playing on my Oculus Quest and then I noticed a little game called Echo VR decided to drop. Well, the beta version to be exact. Now this is a competitive VR game that has not been a stranger to the Oculus series for a while now. It has had its home on the Oculus Rift CV1 as well as the Rift S for a long time now. And now there's a Quest port, and while the graphics are indeed dumbed down, it's a taste of the full thing to come, and having it be wireless with the Oculus Quest is a game changer for games like this. Okay, but what exactly is Echo VR for those who aren't in the know? Essentially, it's a competitive sport. Think of it like Rocket League, except you're not driving a car, you're using your body. And while you aren't dealing with the ball, you do have a disc that you can throw into the enemy's goal. That sounds rather simple, except for the fact that you are in a complete zero-G environment, and you can grab onto anything, and I mean anything, including teammates and enemy players. The whole idea is to maneuver around this three-dimensional zero-gravity space by grabbing onto objects and pushing yourself away from them, allowing you to speed off in the direction opposite of what you pushed. You have a jetpack that boosts yourself in the direction that you look, and you also have little wrist jetpacks that allow you to boost in the direction that you want to go, Superman style. You can turn with the wrist ones, but you can't turn with the back one. However, you can stop on a dime and then turn your whole body in the direction you want to go, or, grab something and push off of it, that type of thing. The game is quite competitive and is 4v4, and so here's how a usual match goes down. You and your teammates will gather in your safe area while the countdown timer goes down, and then you'll grab onto this ring that will propel you out of your safe zone into the battlefield alongside the enemy opponents who are doing the same thing, and you're going to race towards the middle to grab the disc first, and you'll coordinate with your team and do your best to try to control the disc, throw it to each other, bounce it off of walls, keep it out of the enemy's hands, and then potentially score. Now, not unlike Rocket League, there is a mechanic that allows you to stop an enemy opponent in their tracks, as well as drop the disc that they are holding onto. And you do this by pressing down a button to get your hands ready to punch, and then you punch somebody in the head, and it stuns them for a few seconds. The same thing can happen to you. However, if you glove up and then put your hands near your head, you will be guarding, and then if somebody tries to punch you, they get stunned. So it's kind of this neat back and forth where you can kind of outmaneuver and outwit the enemy opponent into punching you, and then they get stunned. It's kind of cool. And using that maneuver can give you the tactical edge, allowing you to, say, go up to the enemy's goalie, stun him so he can't do a thing, and then have your teammate come from behind and throw right in. I know that for a fact because that has happened to me more times than I have accidentally punched the wall, and you will do that while you play this. Trust me, you better have a big play space with nothing in it, because you are going to be accidentally punching the wall or something, or you're going to try to jump and grab the disc and outstretch your arm and you'll hit the ceiling or a ceiling fan. It's going to hurt, and you need to be careful not to damage your controllers. The whole goal is to score as many points as you can within a time limit. There is an essentially endless amount of rounds, and that's only when the score is tied, which can be common when both your team and their team kind of, is new to the game and it's just 0-0. But you get lucky with an interception from an enemy passing to another enemy, and you just run it all the way to the goal because their goalie isn't where he should be. And then you expertly chuck it in there from a distance, and you win, and all of your teammates surround you, and they're grabbing your face and they're grabbing your body, giving you a thumbs up and punching you, and everybody's on mic and the comms are just lit up. It's a pretty cool experience. I know, because that happened to me, only once. And in between game modes, you go to this lobby where you can talk to other people. You can go to this little combat area where you can float around and punch each other, where that is enabled. You can throw around little knickknacks or toys, or even a practice disc here and there. It's neat. There's also a little bit of customization that is tied into the leveling system. Whether you win or lose, you get experience, and that converts into new unlocked colors and patterns for your armor. It's not too bad. It's a good start. And for a game like this, it would be really cool to have cosmetic options that are unlocked after completing a certain triumph or an achievement. Stuff like that, in my opinion, would be kind of cool to see. And while at the moment we only have this one mode, there are other modes in the main game on the other platforms where I guess you have guns and you shoot each other. But from what I've read, that is a paid add-on to the main game, Echo VR, which is free, and that is called Echo Combat, and we might one day see that come to the Quest, which would be really cool because we need more multiplayer competitive shooters on this device. Now, I do have to mention it, the graphics. Yes, it is a pretty major downgrade. There's no actual lighting in the game outside of, say, the disc itself, which lights up an area near it. Everything else that would normally give off, some bright lighting or specular highlights are dulled down, and they almost look as if they are just a different colored texture from the things around it. Everything is textured quite nicely. I have really no qualms with that. There's nothing that looks too terrible, like the resolution on some things aren't like super bad. It's more just the lack of lighting or shadows or anything like that, which is, it's fine. It's serviceable. You can still play and enjoy the game without, really any of those special effects. The cool thing is that if you have a Rift or a CV1 or a Rift S, then you can play Echo VR for free, really on any platform. It's not cross-compatible yet. There is no crossplay yet, but there will be down the road, probably out of beta. So look forward to that. That means a huge player base for a game like this at all times. I like that. But since Echo VR is free on all platforms, while it isn't cross-play, if you have a good gaming PC and a Quest, like I do, if it's set up, you can boot up Virtual Desktop and then just play the better-looking version of Echo VR. But I would only do that if you have, like I said, Virtual Desktop set up, because playing wireless is key. This is the key selling point of a Quest, because playing with a cord sucks, and if you're using the link cable, that sucks because it's not very long, and better graphics aren't worth giving away that cordless freedom. Overall, I really enjoy Echo VR, and I think it's a really good alternative to some of the other multiplayer competitive shooters out there on the Quest, and I'm speaking mostly of sideloaded stuff. And the only time I didn't really have a good time with Echo VR was when my teammates were consistently bad, like just they didn't know how to even do the most basic of things, and I know that's not their fault, and I shouldn't get like upset, but after losing 7 matches in a row, which I did, you get a little salty, and I know it's not all about winning, but I don't know, it does something to me. I don't like what it does to me. And even with that little quirk of mine, there's no way that I couldn't give Echo VR a 9 out of 10, because it's just that good. It does something so unique and so different in the VR space that you have to try it. If you have an Oculus Quest or Rift S or any Oculus device, you gotta try it. It is that good. So let me know what you think in the comments down below about Echo VR. Do you prefer it on the Quest with the wireless freedom and the dumbed down graphics, or do you prefer it with the, all the bells and whistles on the Rift S? Let me know. I'd like to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe for more, hit the bell before you go, and I will see you next time.